Let's talk energy in your YouTube videos, how to let your genuine personality shine and keeping true to your authentic self. This video is going to be divided into 3 parts. Part number 1 is why it is so difficult to find the balance when it comes to energy. Some may be too enthusiastic, others may be too mellow. How to find the balance. Part number 2 is going to be great techniques to help you to ramp up the energy when needed in your videos. And part number 3 is going to be great techniques and how to reduce that energy and use that to your advantage to keep people listening. Now, I am going to timestamp these parts in the description below for your benefit. However, I highly recommend that you watch the entire video because the techniques that I'm going to share with you when practiced in your everyday life is actually going to make you a much greater and more effective communicator. And then when you try it on camera, it's going to come across more natural. Make sure you stick around to the end of the video where I share a great bonus technique where I combined high and low energy together. Let's jump in. Part number 1. Why is it so challenging for YouTubers to find the balance in the energy in their videos? Well, in everyday life, when you communicate with somebody, I always recommend bringing 10% more energy than what they are displaying. You can imagine if I was talking to a very calm, relaxed individual and I came bouncing in there with all this energy, it would be completely overwhelming. It would create a disconnect between me and the person that I'm trying to communicate with. And vice versa. Some people have very big personalities, and if I come in very calm and soft, there may be this disconnect. So being 10% more energetic than the person that you're dealing with can really help you to really find common ground. And that's what communication is really all about. Now, the challenge here when you're filming your YouTube video is that you don't have live audience in front of you. You don't have somebody that you're speaking directly to that you can read their body language. And 55% of all communication is done through body language. So in a way, this is a big challenge that we need to overcome. And how do we do that? Variety. Variety in your energy levels throughout your video is key. This is what keeps people engaged. This is what keeps people listening longer. And it makes for great storytelling. And whether you're narrating a story or just giving your point of view across, you need to keep people engaged and interested throughout. Variation and variety is key. And I might say, a smile helps too. A smile relaxes the viewer, lets them know everything's okay, and it is a universal sign. And when you're on YouTube, you're generally appealing to a universal audience. Many of you may say, well, just go on camera and be yourself. And while I completely agree with that, easier said than done. When we're under pressure and we're under stress, most of that's probably self-induced pressure. You want to create this amazing video. Physiologically, why can't I say that word? Physiologically, our bodies change. Your palms begin to sweat. Your mouth may begin to get dry. Your heart rate quickens. Your rate of speech tends to get faster as well. And in some cases, your pitch, your tone of voice gets higher and higher and higher, particularly at the end of sentences. So you need to try to overcome this while filming to show your authentic self. And that's why practice makes perfect for sure. Go look at your favorite YouTubers, their first videos they created versus what they do now. Practice is important, yes, but the techniques I'm going to dive into in part 2 and part 3 are really going to help you when you practice them in your everyday life become a greater communicator And these techniques are going to translate into creating more captivating videos for you. Part number 2, techniques to help you ramp up energy in your videos. Now, before we get into these techniques, I do want to just highlight again, variety, variety, variety. When you contrast different energy levels, that's where you're truly going to see greater impact. Let's talk a little bit about volume. Volume definitely portrays energy. But can you imagine I said the entire video at this kind of volume that I'm almost shouting at the audience? But it can become flat. Can you imagine I did the entire video at that kind of volume? It will sound exactly the same as if I spoke really, really quietly. So you want to have this variation. But volume is definitely a great way to showcase energy. The other is a rate of speech. When we are excited, we tend to speak a little bit faster, and that is okay if you have the variation against speaking slower. This will build up energy within your video. Now watch the difference when I say that sentence one more time. When we get excited, we speak faster and faster. Do you see the difference between the two? Conveying that energy. Now, when you use rate of speech and volume together, you can really amp up the energy in your videos. The third thing that you can do to showcase energy is body language. Yes, you're going to hear me talk about body language time and time again in my videos. Body language is such a huge tool of communication. So how can you convey more energy through your body language when you're on camera? Firstly, I recommend standing, not sitting, because when we sit, we become very stiff and stagnant and we lose energy that way. Ground your feet, stand in a neutral position. That way, any kind of nervous energy or tics sort of disappear. You can just imagine them going into the ground. You are solid and you feel comfortable in the way that you are standing. For example, if I was not standing grounded, I might be shifting side to side. And this looks very nervous, very uncomfortable. But when you're standing strong and your posture is erect and you're emoting, body language can definitely help you to amp up the energy in your videos. Join the conversation, leave a comment below. These videos are designed to help you. This is just an overview of my knowledge. I hope you're finding it great so far, but I can certainly dive into these topics a lot deeper. Number 3, techniques to use reduced energy to your advantage to keep people listening. My experience is speaking in front of a live crowd, and I'll tell you, if you ramp up the energy and then pause and continue to speak, the reaction in a room is quite powerful. People begin to look around thinking, what's happening? It re-jolts the interest, it re-jolts the energy, it re-jolts the focus of the listener. In normal conversation, people tend to be thinking, well, what can I talk about next? They start thinking about their own point of view rather than effectively listening. Now, there are some great listeners out there, but in general, this is what's happening. And it's no different when people are watching your video. They start going in autopilot. They might start thinking about what they did today, what they need to do tomorrow, but they're watching your video, relaxing. By pausing, you re-engage them because they'll go, oh, it went off. Is it finished? What? Okay, what? Oh, they're making a point about X, Y, Z. So the power of the pause is important. Then slowing down your rate of speech can also help you to convey a certain type of energy. And what energy I'm talking about is power. Powerful speakers speak slower. When you want to get a point across, lowering the tone of voice and speaking slower can be extraordinarily powerful. And here's your bonus tip. Yes, there's a bonus tip at the end of all my videos. So here is a bonus tip for you. I'm going to use a technique called the drop, where I'm going to combine high energy and low energy together. I'm going to ramp that energy up, pause, and then lower the energy. Now I'm going to do this in a very exaggerated kind of way so that you can really see the technique in action. So you ready? Here it is. When you've got great value from this video, make sure to go ahead and hit subscribe. Turn on notifications so you don't miss a single video coming at you each and every week. Thanks for watching.